Okay, we're here. You hear what I'm saying? Listen here. This is A Course in Miracles. A Course in what? A Course in Miracles. Goodness. What's a miracle? What's a miracle? What's a miracle? What is a miracle, y'all? Change in perception. The Course tells us that miracle is change in perception from something that is a reflection of fear to a reflection of love or trust or something like that. Bless me. Okay. You too. Bless yourselves. Listen in and hear this right here. Let's all be blessed by hearing these words. It's A Course in Miracles. Okay, so yesterday's lesson was I am the light of the world. Today's forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. This is the 62nd lesson in the Course in Miracles, the 62nd day in our 2021 calendar year. And you can hear that these lessons can be quite sequential in some way. Yesterday being I am the light of the world, today being forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. Tomorrow's the light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness, through my forgiveness, through my forgiveness. And the next one, let me not forget my function. So see, these things start kind of adding on to one another. My only function is the one God gave me. My happiness and my function are one. Lots about function now. Then eventually love created me like myself. Love holds no grievances. See, this is forgiveness thing too. My grievances hide the light of the world in me. Salvation, anyways, you'll hear, you'll see. We'll go sequentially. And there's quite some steps here that work well together. But also this information is holographic. That means, the Course says anyways, that if you pick up one part of it wholly, then you pick up all of it fully. So anyways, here we go. And it tells us that we don't have to believe this stuff. In fact, it tells us we'll probably actively resist it at times, but that if we listen in, if we hear, if we practice as it says to, that we will notice it makes a difference in our life, a meaningful difference. Okay? Meaningfully speaking. Okay. Forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. Forgiveness is your function as the light of the world. Forgiveness is his function as the light of the world. It's her function. It's their function. It's our function. It's the function as the light of the world. It is your function that will bring the world of darkness to the light. It is your forgiveness that will bring the world of darkness to the light. It is your forgiveness that lets you recognize the light in which you see. It is your forgiveness. What are you forgiving here? Perhaps if you're listening and you've never heard this before, you're forgiving the tiny mad idea which you took seriously, which was against the most basic premise in the metaphysics of truth. The metaphysics of truth being that the truth is true, and it's only true, otherwise it'd be something else. And if there is something other than the truth, what is it? It's whatever is other than the truth just isn't true, actually. So what we're forgiving is the idea that there could be something other than the truth. This tiny mad idea taken seriously has brought us the world of chaos that we see. That's what if we're entertaining the meditation, if we're gonna consider the meditation or the consideration of what the Course is giving us, that's what it says, that the world of appearances appeared to appear, to start via the mind taking seriously a premise that is against the most basic premise of the metaphysics of truth, which is that's all there is. There's nothing other than it. In reality, no thing other than the truth exists, which is a cool kind of logic. It does make sense. And then we live in the practice world, the world of practice, and we're like, but how's this work? So let's see how it works, see how we fit it in with our life. We have to, the truth has to meet us, or we have to be met with any type of consideration, knowing where we believe we are. Even if we know we believe that we think that there's a monster in the closet, there's a closet right there. Even if we think we believe that, we can't pretend that we don't. Even if we know that we're like, I don't think there's a monster really, but I'm kind of feeling like I can tell I believe I have it, just like Maybe I'm not going to die, but I know that I act like I believe I am going to die or something like that, right? I protect myself. I think I'm my body. So to deny these thoughts is an improper use of denial by the Course's standards. And the Course says it will actually create a further split in the dream of separation already made up. Okay, so anyways, it is your forgiveness that lets you recognize the light in which you see. Forgiveness of what? Meaning that you've gave. That's all. The only meaning you see is meaning you gave. And it's, by the Course's standards, it's actually meaningless meaning, because it's meaning about opposition, and there's nothing opposed to the truth. So anyways, we're going to keep going. Forgiveness is the demonstration that you are the light of the world. Forgiveness, forgiving, letting things go, is the demonstration that what you are is the light of the world. You're not your character. Through your forgiveness does the truth about yourself return to your memory. Through your forgiveness does the truth about yourself return to your memory. The truth about yourself being the light. Therefore, in your forgiveness lies your salvation. Salvation from what? From the meaning you've given. Paragraph number 2. Illusions about yourself and the world are one. That is why all forgiveness is a gift to yourself. Illusions about yourself and the world are one. Yeah, you could, again, I talked about this yesterday too, the self-concept is the illusions about yourself. If you want to read about the self-concept that you made, or that I made, or that was made up by the mind, you can check out self-concept versus self. If you type into Google or DuckDuckGo or whatever you want, self-concept versus self, ACIM, you can read all about how the illusions about yourself and the world are one. That's the self-concept. Okay, paragraph number 2, sentence number 2. That is why all forgiveness is a gift to yourself. Or another way you could say this is that you could say that all lessons are my lesson. That word, whose word is that? My word? Oh, my word. It's yours too, you know? Every word, every my word is my word, right? Okay, so your goal is to find out who you are, having denied your identity by attacking creation and its creator. Now you are learning how to remember the truth. For this, attack must be replaced by forgiveness, so that thoughts of life may replace thoughts of death. For this attack, the attack that we created, we thought we did when we took seriously the tiny mad idea. We thought we separated from reality. We thought we destroyed heaven or something like this. We got to forgive this thing, and for this attack, that attack must be replaced by forgiveness, so that thoughts of life may replace thoughts of death. And what's thoughts of life? It's thoughts of light. It's thoughts of, the truth. You could say the Course is always kind of just talking about either fear or love, or you could say limitation, separation, disconnection, and or wholeness, and inclusion, and fullness, or expansion, or something like that. Initially, so these thoughts of attack must be replaced by forgiveness, so that thoughts of life may replace thoughts of death. In some way, the Course is saying that what a thought of death is a thought that I'm this stuck in the small thing, like this character. If you know this philosopher, Terence McKenna, he said, maybe we don't get any more dead than being on Earth. There's other beautiful ways to look at the world too. So anyways, paragraph number 3. Remember that in every attack you call upon your own weakness, while each time you forgive, you call upon the strength of Christ in you. Or if you want to, you could say Buddha mind. That's fine. I promise. No Christ, no Buddha, no God's got no problem with you saying it that way. Remember that in every attack you call upon your weakness. By the Course's standards, a defense is an attack as well. While each time you forgive, you call upon the strength of Christ in you.
I have some interesting parables of how this has worked in my life, like in the face of what people could easily see as excuses to, posture defending myself or something like that. It's worked. I've just um, relaxed my nervous system in the face of what seemed like major threat from people who were, you know, basically trained killers, honestly. A dude who was very strong once, and also has multiple black belts in multiple disciplines of martial arts. Uh, Called himself to be threatening me, and I just forgave any defensive energy and felt my whole nervous system relax, and it calmed him down. And now he became like one of my biggest advocates in some ways. He's a security guard at a dispensary, actually. And anytime I go there, he's like, "Man, this guy." He gives me shoulder massages when I go, and it's been a while. He's in Toronto, so. But anyways, this strength of forgiveness, or it works, of just relaxing any need to defend or to posture. It works. It works a lot. Okay, so anyways, paragraph number 3, sentence number 2. Do you not then begin to understand what forgiveness is for? Or what forgiveness will do for you? I understand. It will remove all sense of weakness, strain, and fatigue from your mind. It will take away all fear and guilt and pain. It will restore the invulnerability and power God gave His Son, yourself, His shiny Son, the one you are, to your awareness. Paragraph number 4. Let us be glad to begin and end this day by practicing today's idea and use it frequently as possible throughout the day. It will help to make the day as happy for you as God wants you to be. This is going to help to make the day as happy for you as your Creator created you to actually be. And it will help those around you as well as those you seem to be far away from in space and time to share this happiness with you. Wow, what a big promise, eh? Even people that seem to be far away from in space and time, it's going to help them too. If we practice, this is what the Course is telling us. Sometimes, of course, it's super logical. Sometimes it's just these beautiful promises, and that's cool too, right? It actually, in the levels of teaching section, in the what is that called? The manual for teachers section near the end of the course, the levels of teaching, it says it calls relationships teaching learning situations, and it actually says that all relationships are situations there, a place where a thought meets a thought. This is a Joey thought meeting whoever you are. Misha's the one here. Brent Wilson was here. Maybe whoever you are in the future watching this, we have a relationship. This is a thought. These are a pointer finger thought meeting a middle finger thought, and nanu thought. Or no, it's live long and prosper. Nanu thought. Anyways, I'm just playing around. It's okay. I can do this. Or should I be more serious? I'm gonna try not to forget to laugh. Okay. Anyways, in the levels of teaching, there's this pretty promise. It says that the first level of teaching learning situations is just coincidental meetings that seem coincidental. Somebody who sits by next to you on the bus, somebody that steps on your feet, somebody that whatever. It says these things will seem coincidental, but it says make no mistake. It's an opportunity to give salvation and thus receive it for yourself. Course in Miracles is always presencing us to now, and it says that the only place you can experience salvation is now. It's never in the future. It will seem that we seem to slowly unwind from or something like that. Actually, it says it's prior to time was even. It'll seem that time will go backwards even, actually, because it's before the Big Bang banged, is where awakening is, or something like that. It's prior to time. Anyway, so the first level is these like coincidental meetings or something like that. The second level is longer relationships. They're fairly more intense teaching learning situations. And it said it will seem that these people will separate. The bodies will go separate ways. But it says, make no mistake about it. They will be reunited, for it is the destiny of all relationship to be holy. It's just kind of pretty. The third one, by the way, is bodies that are meant to stay together for their whole, appearance within the story of time. From the time they meet, they never go separately. Basically, maybe they go to the bathroom in different places. Maybe they even move to different places, but they still stay a relationship or something like that officially. It says it's not a goal, by the way, though. In fact, it says that a lot of times these people don't recognize that they have that situation. But they do have a special role if they can recognize they have that situation, if they can see beyond their separate interests to the fact that they have actually a unified interest underneath what seems like separate interests, that those people can be the teachers of the teachers who may falter or something like that. So anyways, it's talking about how a lot of times the Course is logical. Sometimes it's these pretty promises, right? They will seem to go separate ways, but make no mistake, they will be reunited, for it is the destiny of all relationship to be holy. That's pretty, hey? Anyway, same thing with here, paragraph number 4 at the end. It's kind of just a pretty promise. Maybe not just, maybe we can experience it to be so. I know people who say that it is that way for them. How is blankety blank doing? Oh, they're great. There's a good friend of mine, a Course in Miracles student. He's been training with the Course in Miracles a long time. He's almost got Mr. Magoo magic or something like that. If you know who Mr. Magoo is, it's clueless, cared for, and carefree is his way. He seems to never be upset and interprets everything miraculously. I am where I'm at, and I kind of, wiggle with I'm not so sure sometimes, just to be honest about the promises. But I do know that through mind training this way, it does have an ability to have an effect. Like I said earlier, I mentioned about the story of that big strong guy. There's lots of little stories of these. That story is a really cool story. I could tell a lot more about it. But by the way, these things, you can call them shareable miracle parables. And once you have enough of them, then your story becomes something through which the light shines so brightly that the shadows of the filter of the film that's in front of the light that you are actually gets burnt through, because the stories, the shareable miracle parables, it sort of burns up the film and you disappear into the light. It's a happy dream on the way there, though. That's the only way. Okay. I don't know. Maybe it's not the only way, but sounds good. Okay, so paragraph number 5. As often as you can, closing your eyes if possible, say to yourself today, forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. Forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. As the light of the world, forgiveness is my function. I would fulfill my function that I may be happy. I would fulfill my function that I may be happy. What's my function? It's forgiveness. Forgiveness of what? It's forgiveness of meaning given, not of what I think something is. The Course actually calls that forgiveness to attack. It's like making something real and then trying to forgive it. It's forgiveness of meaning given and recognizing that, oh, this is a story I'm seeing. It's what do I want to give to this? What's this for? Clearly, for clarity. Clarity of what? To clear. Clearly. Okay, then devote a minute or two. So you say that as often as you can, close your eyes if possible, say to yourself, forgiveness is my function as the light of the world, and I would fulfill my function that I may be happy. Then devote a minute or two to considering your function and the happiness and release it will bring you within the great rays you can experience as the kingdom within. Let related thoughts come freely, for your heart will recognize these words, and in your mind is the awareness that they are true. Should your attention wander, repeat the idea and add. Should your attention wander, repeat the idea, forgiveness is my function as the light of the world, and I would remember this because I want to be happy. That's true, you do. You want to be happy, and you would remember this because you want to be happy. 62, day 62 in our 2021 calendar year, a year we give to miracles for one another, a year we learn to let ourselves perceive ourselves as we are, the light of the world, forgiveness being our function. For what? Forgiveness. For what? What are we going to give to this? Forgiveness. Ciao, everybody.